Okay, so I'm just going to be showing you how to fletch an arrow, or how I fletch an arrow. So the things you'll need is you need your arrows, obviously. I've just got these Eastern Aftermath. Now, I just bought them from my local archery store. That's them there. Okay, so I'll be doing half a dozen just for a mate today. Now, what else you'll need is you obviously need your vanes. He wants me to use these ones here. These are only 2-inch vanes. So there's all different types of vanes. It's just depending on what your setup is and what you want to use. You can get, these are the ones I use. They're a 4-inch vane. You know, there's all different brands and all different types, so it's personal preference, I suppose. Also, I'm going to be putting arrow wraps on. So you can get all different colours for your arrow wraps. They're very easy to use, and there's all different ways you can manipulate them to suit yourself. Here's an arrow with nothing on it. It's just standard, just your veins straight on. You know, I've done other ones where I've cut the arrow wraps in different sections. As you can see, I've put a little bit here and then a little stripe a bit further down. You know, it's all personal preference, and that's just aesthetics. It doesn't really make the arrow fly any different. So today I'll just be doing an arrow wrap, just similar, just exactly like that. That's all we're doing. What else you need? You're going to need some glue. I'll just use this Fast-Set gel. I usually find that works very well. Okay, so, and you're going to also need your fletching jig. Okay, so I've just got a boning one here. It's got a right helical. You can get different ones. You can get a left helical, or you can even get straight, just depending on, again, personal preference and what your style is. Okay, so first I'll show you how to put your arrow wraps on. And also, you just got to make sure that you clean your arrow before you start this process, and then that'll help everything to stick to the arrow. Alright, cool. Let's get started. So what I like to do is I like to make my arrows a little bit fancy. I use these arrow wraps. I just got white here today. And what I do is on my fletching jig, I've got 2 marks. I've got one here for where my vane, where to set my vane up, so I know, so it's in the same spot every time. And this one further back, I use that one for to mark where my arrow wrap's going to start. So I'll just sit it into the jig, put that on. I put my mark. I've got my mark here. So then I just transfer that onto the arrow shaft. So I put a mark. And I take it back out. I'll peel off my arrow wrap. Now these are easy to do. Just put it on the table. Sticky side up. And then I just line up that mark. Make sure the arrow wrap is in line with the arrow, and then just roll it on. Just like so. It's that easy. It should overlap where the joint is. That's normal. Now if you line them up in the same spot, I try and get it all on the same side, that joint. And what you'll find is when I do my cock feather, that cock feather will usually cover that joint anyway, just purely for aesthetics, no other reason. Okay, so I'll do all 6 of them. They're fairly easy. So I've already marked these ones earlier. We've got the arrow wraps on, so now I'm just going to show you guys how to glue your veins on. It's fairly simple. Get your jig, set it up on your table. Now I've already got my jig set so that when I put my vein in, I've got these marks which I discussed earlier. So I'll just put this vein in, you push the clamp apart, it opens, put the vein in. I'll just line it up with my mark at the back there. With your arrow, you've got where your knock goes in here. So you want to put them in all the same way. So I'll line my cock vein up with the little mark on your knock here. So that you put in the same way every time, so you have that facing up and into your jig like so. Alright, now that that's in there, my vein's in my clamp, just sit it on there and just see how that vein's going to sit along your arrow shaft. Alright, so if you can see here, the vein is just sitting off the back edge of the arrow shaft here, so that's not sitting snug onto the shaft. So what we want to do is we want to adjust these little knobs here on the back of your fletching jig, and that'll allow the jig to slide, which will turn it whichever way to make that vein sit nice and neat on your shaft. So I'll just give that a little bit of a turn now. Now I want to try and get maximum helical out of my veins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it I'm going to look at along here, and where my vein is just at the maximum it can go, so it's just touching. Okay, so that's pretty close there. So you just tighten these back up when you're happy with where it is. Now as long as that vein is sitting nice and snug on your shaft, you shouldn't have any dramas. So now that's on there, we've got a little bit of helical on it, so we're happy with that. We tighten them up, that's all good. Now the way this works is you put your glue on, you put your clamp onto the magnet, there's a magnet there and a metal plate on the back here, sticks it on, then you just push it down onto your arrow shaft. The glue will set, it takes, depending on what sort of glue you're using, just read your instructions on the back, it'll tell you how long. This one here, for example, is 15 to 30 seconds to set. So what you want to do is you want to put your glue on, you want to wait 15 to 30 seconds. Once that's dried, you want to open up your clamp, so just open it up as is, pull away, your vein will stay on your shaft. Then here you leave your arrow in there, you just turn this knob at the back, clicks around one click, same thing again, on, wait 15 to 30 seconds, do one more click, it's on. Now what you just got to remember is when you take that arrow out and it's got your 3 veins on there, it's going to be sitting in position of your 3rd vein. So what you want to do is you want to just click it one more time before you put your next shaft back in with your arrow, your marker on your knock here facing up. So it's exactly the same each arrow, and then you're good to go for your next one. So I'll do one now and show you guys how it's done. So I'm just putting it in, I'm lining it up, I'll just set it on the table like that. There's new glue, so I've got to pop it open. So you just want to put your glue on. Nice and even. Just remember, it's going to ooze out the sides, so you don't want to put too much, but you want enough so that it's going to come out evenly. Put it over like so. Make sure that your clamp is hitting the back of your jig and your arrow's in there nice and neat. And just push down, and that glue will ooze out the sides. What I do is I get a little bit of paper towel, and just wipe that excess off while it's still wet, and then you just wait, give it 15 seconds or 30 seconds for this one, and then once that's dry, if you give it 15 seconds and then turn it, you can clean the other side of it off while it's still wet, and that way you've got a nice finish. So I'll do this one, and then we'll show you what the next step is. Alright. It's been 20 seconds. Just take the clamp off. Now if I turn it that one click, I can get in here with the paper towel and wipe down that other side. That's that. And get the next vein. Glue it up again. Pop it on. Clamp touching the back edge of the jig. Arrow, make sure it's in nice and neat. Push down. Wipe off your excess glue. Okay, so now we've taken it out. We've got all our Fletchers on. It's looking good. We just want to, what I like to do is just put a little dab of glue at the very start of your Fletch, or your vein. On all three of them. And just on the back as well. Just a little bit, just to seal that edge. I find it helps in increasing that lifespan of your Fletchers on your arrow shaft. It doesn't have to be much, you don't want too much on there. It might even be a little bit too much there, so let's take a little bit back off with that thing. There you have it. That's your that's one arrow done. So it's looking good. Alright, we'll get the rest of these knocked over, and yeah, we'll go from there. Just remember, pop that one click around once you're finished. That way you've got your knock in the right position on every arrow. So you don't need much glue at the very front of your arrow there, or on the ends of your Fletchers, just enough just to tie it in. So there you have it. 6 arrows fletched. Done. Beautiful. Ready to shoot. Okay, so I'll just leave them here to dry. Once they're dry, I'll put them away with the rest of them. thanks for watching, and keep an eye on my Facebook page, Quick Sticks, for more videos uploaded. Thanks guys.